Good afternoon. My name is Mauricio Ramos, and I am a student at the Military University specializing in senior management. Today, we are going to discuss the article Presidential Influence and Public Opinion During Crisis, the case of COVID-19 in Brazil, from the International Journal of Public Opinion Research. Can presidential message influence public opinion? The focus of this article is located in Brazil during the 2020 pandemic. The survey results were used days before President Bolsonaro's speech, considering a Daniel's position that polarized opinions. A Bayesian point of change model was also used to demonstrate that the president's speech directly affected online search trends in relationship to the pandemic, confirming that presidential influence is powerful but can be damaging. The pandemic arises from the concept of a virus which is highly contagious and has multiple routes of spread. For this reason, to try to stop this contagion, social distancing campaigns were carried out, to use of masks if you find symptoms, stay home, and in general to try to stop the root phenomenon. It was carried out for the first time in a long time to generalize the confinement with the sole objective that people begin to take care of themselves, to protect their families, but above all to stop the spread of the virus that the spread through the world at alarming speeds. In the Colombian case, the first affectation was not stopping the migration of the internationals by air and closing the borders. The result will be that a couple of infected spinners began to spread indirectly, which clearly spread at great speed throughout all the cities. Maybe politics didn't see the virus coming too, or maybe they didn't think it was as dangerous as they claimed. In general, people in our country tend to discard hypotheses and phrases. It is the other side of the ocean. However, many people, including acquaintances, did not resist the treatment and unfortunately died. Perhaps the magnitude of this problem was never envisioned. Things were taken lightly, and the result was really not pretty. Not only did it impact people's health as a pandemic, but it was also a tremendous blow to developing economies such as those of Latin America. The role of the president in all these countries was essential to continue with the confinement process, in addition to being taken as the voice of call for many people who care about their own well-being and that of their families. Their success of presidential influence depends on the quality of the message and the interpretation of the receiver. However, the panorama must be constant, since it will be the first time in a long time that a phenomenon of confinement and social awareness is present. In addition to the fact that the health factors intervenes, which will also be the first time that it was to be shared in this way. Above all, because the subjects is a right but in injustice are not noticed daily. For Brazil, there are two scenarios: what was before the president's speech and then what happened after. Since the Brazilians were divided, considering that the president denied the seriousness of the pandemic and that it formed a flatter panorama facing the near future. More knowing that access through the internet allows you to search to information worldwide in your language and in real time. When making the comparison, there is a duality of opinions, but the most part is observed that there was a lot of uncertainty to do the virus. But that were also many ways to confirm that it was real and that it should be taken seriously. There is talk of cooperation, cause and vaccinations, which becomes a priority to achieve the vaccination and nationals. In addition to complying with the safety protocols established worldwide to block contagion. In addition to the fact that people like pending what it happens in the news to be aware of everything that happens outside and that they also consciously hope that world will be encouraging, news that allows them to remain calm in their homes. Take into account that we will already be locked up this cold drive anyone's crazy. A serious point for what the president said was that accused governors of killers for the taking people into confinement, and that he later confirmed with a speech on television where proposed returning to normality to save the economy. At this point, two different scenarios faces, which focus on the health of the people for the president to say something and the health minister another. It can be very confusing to lead people to despair considering that they do not have information clear and no one knows what happened will happen. Additionally, a survey was carried out once the speech were made where the president says that the pandemic was not so important, which the question revealed to the level of very concerned to slightly concerned, and the result will be 76% very concerned, which confirms the idea of a general opinion in a people despite having other sources that say no. In addition, the performance of the president and the intention to vote in the future were measured. However, there was an interest point in the survey. Since people expressed high support of Bolsonaro, so the results in April were different, since the percentage from very concerned to the concerned dropped. Taking into account that the president insisted of the pandemic was not important and it was mentioned. This article shows the great importance that leaders have from their position in the calm the spirits of the of population defection. The truth of the master is that people should read more, document themselves from the other types of sources to be able to establish their own conclusions based in a scientist evidence. We know that we are still far from reaching 100% of the population on a country reaching this conclusion. But if a small change can be achieved to allow people to achieve it. Thank you very much and good day.